Hi everybody, this is Ellen. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make the letter K. K for my brother Keith, I guess, maybe. Band-wise, it's 286 bands. Don't forget to use like wrap bands or colorful bands to kind of give it your own personality. But we'll get started. It's on one loom, wrong end towards me. You want your bands. And we're going to start by putting some X's on the loom, and I'm going to start up on the 6th pin up on the left, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So right here, I'm going to start on the left and then cross over to the right in kind of a long stretch, and then I'm going to go right over the top of that in an X. And then on these two pins right here, we're going to use a cap band, which is 2 bands wrapped around one time. We'll do that on both sides. Everything in this design is double banded, so if I don't say it, it's 2 bands. So like that. And then we're going to repeat that right up on these 4 pins right here. So 2 bands, left to right, cross over the top, and then our cap bands, 2 bands wrapped around one time. Both pins, like that. So I'm going to loom these out. You're going to go in through the one on the right, because that's where the band is on the bottom. Grab those bottom 2 bands, pull them up through the cap band, and then bring them all the way back across to the other side of the loom. Same thing on the other side. Like that. And then just repeat that down here. Through the cap band, pick up the bottom 2 bands, bring them back, and then the left side too. Like that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to work on them both at the same time because there isn't a whole lot to do for them. We are working on the kind of the pointy parts that come off the K, so we're going to do a row around each X, so on the 4 pins. So 2 bands around each X. Like that, and flip the bottom 4 on every pin. Looked like the band was splitting for a second, so I had to make sure it wasn't. Like that. Then we'll do another row all the way around each little square rectangle. So again, 2 bands around each one. Like that. And then again, flip the bottom 4. All the way around. Push your bands down. And then what you're going to want to do is go in through by the center pin and pull the bands up over the top of the pin, just so they quit growing down. And you do that on both of them. That. Push them down. So now what we're going to do is some half rows, and for these, the half row on the top one is going to be the left bottom and the right, and then on the lower one it's the left top and right. So we have the bands in the middle, but we won't have any on the outside ends. So we'll start at the top, do left, bottom, and right. And then on the lower one, it's left, top, and right. So what we'll do is we're going to flip these 4 center pins. We aren't going to flip anything else, so we aren't going to do these outside ones, just the inside ones. And they'll have 4 bands to flip. Oops. Flinging them off. Push your bands down. And we're going to do the exact same thing right on top. So the 2 bands up here on the top one, it's the left, bottom, and right. And then down here, it is the left, top, and right. And then once again, we're only going to flip the bands on these center 4 pins, and it'll be 4 bands. Push those down. And now we're going to do a row around each one with the 2 bands. Like that. So then when we flip, we're going to have 8 on this top one to flip over, and then 4, and then 4 down here, and 8 on the bottom. And it's the exact same thing on the other side. There's 8 on the top, and 4 in the middle, and again 8 on the bottom. So you should be left with 4 bands on all the pins all the way around. Again, you want to pull up your center if it keeps sliding down. This one slid way off. Like that. So I'm going to basically do what we just did with the half rows in the row. So again, half row on for the top one, it'll be the left, bottom, and right. And then the bottom one will be the left, top, and right. Like that. So we're only going to flip the middle 4. There'll be 4 bands. Like that. Again, another half row. So on the top one, it's the left, bottom, and right. And on the lower one, it's the left, top, and right. Like that. Again, flip the middle 4. Push your bands down. Then we're going to do a row all the way around each side with the 2 bands. Like that. So the top pin will have 8. Middle ones will have 4. And the bottom one will have 8. And it's the same thing on the other side. Top one has the 8. Middle ones have the 4. And 8 on the bottom. Push your bands down. Again, you want to pull up your center. It'll let you. Some sweet fixing to do on this one because I snagged my cap bands. Like that. Then we're going to do another row all the way around each side. So 2 bands just around each one. Like that. Then flip the bottom 4 all the way around. Remove cat hair. Pull them up again. So we have this. Now what we're going to do is bring this farther one away, closer to the one below. So I'm just going to take my hook. Cat hair just won't go away. Grab these bottom bands that are on the pin, grab all of them, and just bring them down right on top of the bands up below. I'll do that on the other side. I'll do the same thing up here. All the bands, bring them down 1 pin. Make sure you get all the bands around the pin before you take your hook out. Push those down, and then you can kind of unhook this over into the center area. Like that. So what we're going to do is create the back piece, and how we're going to do that is by putting some X's on the loom. So again, with the 2 bands, we're going to, from the lower side, be 1, 2, 3. So 3rd pin up if you started where I did, otherwise like 4 pins down from where the bottom of your design is. 2 bands right there, bring them across. And then right on top, 2 more. And again, starting on the left, go over to the right. And then right on top of that, to the left. And again, left to right. And right to left. Then these 2 pins right here are going to get the cap bands again. So the 2 bands wrapped around 1 time. And then up above here, we're going to do the same thing we did down here. We'll just start right afterwards though. So on the left side, cross over to the right, and then then right to left, left to right, right to left, right on top, and again left to right, and right to left, and then so we have 3 X's up here on this end. Then again on these 2 pins on the end it'll be the cap bands, be the 2 bands wrapped around one time. So like that. And then we need to loom this out. So we're going to take our hook and we're going to go in through the cap band on the right side, grab those bottom 2 bands, pull them up through, and then pull them all the way across the loom to the other side. And then go in through the left side, grab those 2 bottom bands, pull them up through and back to the other side, and then just alternate as we go down. So go through the, grab the right ones all the way over, and come back and grab the left ones all the way over, then right, and then left, so like that. Then we just do the same thing down below here. So we'll go through the cap band, and you're only going to grab the 2 bands that are part of the X. You won't do anything with the 4 bands that are already on the pin. So just those 2 bands, pull those up through, bring them all the way across back to the other side, and then on the left you do the same thing, in through the cap band, grab those bottom 2 bands, ignoring those bottom 4, and bring it all the way over to the right, and then right, over to the left, left, over to the right. Just keep doing that. Like that. Push your bands down all the way. So that's what we have now. So now we're going to do 3 rows all the way around the entire thing. So 2 bands all the way around 3 times. Keep trying to think of more K words, but my mind keeps blanking or picking words that I know start with C. You know, sometimes I really think that the more children that you have, the less functioning your brain is. Like that. So then we'll flip. Be 4 here, and then 4 here. 4, and then right here would be 8, then 8 again. We're only leaving the top 4 from the row we just put on, so 8 again, and then 4 on these 3 down below. Same thing on the other side. 4, 4, 4, and then 8 on the next 3 pins here. Well, 2 now. Like that. Push your bands down. Then we'll do another row all the way around with the 2 bands. like that. And then we'll flip the bottom 4 all the way around. Like that. Unstick it a little bit from the loom here. Push your bands down. So many of them. Then last row, 2 bands all the way around. Like that. Then we'll flip the bottom 4 all the way around for the last time. Pretty sure I've developed a callus on my finger from looming. It's kind of sore. Like that. Again, unstick everything. Make sure it's nothing stuck. So now what we're going to do is close this by basically braiding, or weaving, I guess, depends how you look at it. So I'm going to take my hook, I'm going to go in through the right side, take these bands off the pin, and I'm going to go in through the left side, take those ones off, and then I'll pull the left side through the right side, and I'll come back to the right, pull those through the ones that are on my hook, and go to the left, pull those ones through the ones that are on my hook, and just keep alternating as I go down, left, right, left, right. Take your time, because this would be a bad spot to lose it now. Which I have done, which is no fun. And just keep smushing your K out of your way. And be careful when you get down to the lower ones that your bands that are left don't start popping off your pins, just because you're kind of, you have a little bit of upwards pull while you're doing this kind of braiding. So going through the right one last time, pull those through, and I'm going to come over to the left. And then once I get those last 2 sections on my hook, I'm going to take 1 band, or you can take, or I'm going to take 2 bands. You can take 1 band if you want. pull them through everything on my hook, both ends back on, make a slip knot, and then I'll hide my tail. So I'll come up through the side somewhere, bring my hook right up next to the knot, grab the tails, and pull them down into the center. See how many bands I can snag on the way down. Which I definitely snagged 2 different bands. To get that knot hidden. So now to kind of, you most likely have a curve through here. Like I goofed up because I pulled my cap bands too tight. Or pulled on my cap bands when I was pulling the band up on the pin. So I'll probably have to go back, or I will go back, kind of adjust those to fix them back the way they, so they look nicer like this end. So fix these first. Give it a little tug. Give this side a little tug. So then for the curve, most likely all you need to do is straighten out your braid or loosen your braid. So I'm just taking my hook, going in through, loosening that braid. I'll do that on both sides. And that took away most of the curve right there. And then you can also try this first row, loosening up those bands, because that's usually the next part that's making them kind of bend down right there. But you just kind of give it a little stretch, loosen things up. Just tug on some bands until the back straightens out. I had it, but then I started messing with it. So like that. And then you can decide as you're looking at it, like, do you want it this side or this side? I mean, they're made the same, but sometimes the bands just lay differently, so it looks a little different. But I hope that you liked making the K and that it wasn't too difficult. I don't think there was a whole lot, maybe a little bit of repetition that wasn't bothersome. But definitely try making some your own style, and then you can share them with me on my Instagram, which is at Crafting Fantastic, or on my Facebook, which is feelinspiffy. And then of course it would be awesome if you'd subscribe to my channel so you know when I come out with new things. Okay. Thanks for watching, and I will have more tutorials for you soon.